You're all probably just wondering, why did I show you the city? Let's rewind back 3 years and I'll tell you why I'm at this point where I am now. Some of you may recognise the city, but let's go back 3 years and I'll tell you what's happened. So anyway, yeah, 3 years ago, Facebook user, was on Facebook, met my partner online. Yeah, met my partner there. Then I done 2 trips to the Philippines. She came over to Perth. I went back again after that last year, 2020 for New Year's Eve, and that was the last time I seen my fiance to be as we are now. I didn't know what was going to happen then. I had no idea about all this. I never knew that was going to be the last time I was going to see her to this point in my life now. Wow. So anyway, when I left to come back home after that trip, I immediately got the process going to get her another tourist visa to come back to Perth. And I think we lodged that was March, April last year, I think. It was around that time anyway. Anyway, so yeah, we lodged it, and then, yeah, bang. The unthinkable happened, didn't it? It affected me, and I'm sure it affected you guys as well. So what have we, me and my partner Rose, done in that meantime? It's been a year and a half now. How are we dealt with this? How have we got through this? How are we dealing with it now? Well, I believe me and my partner Rose, we've become a lot stronger, a lot tighter knit as what we would call in a relationship or as a team. How do we go to get through this? How do we go through our daily needs or our daily life and deal with this? Well, at the start it was very hard. It was very difficult to adjust. Like, what is this COVID? What is this all about? You know, like, is it just a common flu? You know, they've closed the borders. You know, like, okay, cool. They'll be open again in a couple of months, and then we'll be back to normal living. You know, but that was a rude shock. You know, that never happened. Because here we are today, still waiting. You know, what's going to happen? When's it going to end? No one knows. You know, I've been reading now, they're saying they're not going to open the borders until next year, 2022. You know, but anyway, back to it. So how do we deal with this? How do we get through our days? How do we manage? You know, I work every day. Rose works every day, so that's a real positive thing. So at least we kept busy each day. I'm actually in a process of building a house there now, which is pretty much about 80% complete. So that's kept us busy as well. We sort of drained my pockets a bit, but no, it's all good. And yeah, you know, she has her circle of friends. Where me, I just work, you know, like, I don't really have a big circle of friends. I don't need friends, you know. I like my own time. I like to, you know, just chill on my own. I'll probably say I'm a bit of a home person. I don't really go out. I don't do pubs. I don't do all that type of stuff, you know. Like, my one passion I love doing is I go camping. Camping in the outdoors, that's my release. That's what I love to do. And if I'm not doing it on my own, well, my little daughter Sophia, she comes with me, and then just me and her, we'll go camping, you know. So that's my time away that keeps me busy. So yeah, it's everyone's different, I guess, you know, how they've dealt with this. You know, like, I've read so many stuff on socials, you know, where couples have broken up, you know, they can't do it, it's too hard for them. My opinion to that is, well, if it's too hard for you, if you can't get through this, well, what hope have you got? Is life too hard for you, you know? life was never meant to be easy. Life, can be so hard. You'll have all sorts of stuff thrown at you during your life. Well, I know I have anyway. And I believe this is just a test to test us all, to see if we can get through this, so we can push through this and remain loyal to our loved ones from the very first moment when we first met these beautiful people. When I first met Rose, I'm sure you guys, when you guys first met your partners, how beautiful was it? How great was it? You're spending time together, doing regular visits as much as you can, and now all of a sudden there's a bit of a halt, to me, if you really have that sincerity towards one another, and if you can't deal with this, or if you let COVID break you, to me, that's, in my opinion, that's pretty weak, If you can't get through this, well, I don't believe you'll get through life too easy as well, mate, because life was never meant to be easy. But anyway, yeah, so we just take day as it comes, we regularly talk every day, we're not on the phone for hours and hours on end, we'll talk in the mornings if we can, a few text messages throughout the day. In the evening time, always make time to at least have a video call, if it's for 10 minutes or half or even 20 minutes or whatever it is, depending on what time it is, Rose, she gets back from work late some nights, so I won't speak to her until the next day or the day after, you know what I mean, which is all, it's fine. But now it's get to the point where it's getting, a year and a half, so it's getting a little bit long in the tooth, in my understanding. Now, what's a way for us to be back together? How can we push through this? How can we overcome this hurdle and try and make it to be back together again? Well, there's one solution, which I'd never heard of, and Jeff told me about it, and get married. And I'm like, well, hang on a minute, how do you get married, mate? We're not even together, then online marriage. I thought, okay. I'd never heard of this, online marriage, is this even real? Does this even exist? I'd never heard of it, And anyway, so yeah, as you were seeing some Jeff's previous videos, obviously he's done videos about it, and that's how I found out the same way as well. And yes, me and Rose are getting married on the 27th of June. So we're doing the online wedding. That's what I want everybody. That's what I want to tell everybody. We are going to do this. And once we have done it, I will do another video again to let you all know, yes, it's real. Yes, it's a genuine statement. Yes, it's legal in Australia. Then, like we have a tourist visa in the system at the moment, but of course hasn't been released yet, which I'm actually quite glad it hasn't been released, because without that exemption, that tourist visa is pretty much useless. Unless you're married or have a child or de facto or something. But without an exemption, your visa isn't worth nothing at this moment now. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and hopefully it all works out. I really hope it all works out for you guys as well, because we all deserve to be back together. And if there's people out there that have been so strong-willed and keep hanging on and not let go, well, you guys deserve to be back together as well. Another question I told myself that might be of interest is, are we getting married just for the sake of it, to be back together again? Well, my answer to that is yes and no. Yes, I admit, yes, we're getting married so we can be back together again. And no, because had we not married now, it was going to happen at some stage anyway, whether it was another year down the track or whatever, you know what I mean? If you've been with your partner for, X amount of time, and if you really think that commitment is genuine and you think you can see you guys are going to be together for a long time, well, maybe try this step, maybe try this online, you know what I mean? It doesn't seem that too difficult. I've had quite a bit of a read of it, and I think all up, it's only going to cost around about $130 or $140, around that. and from my understanding is they'll organise a celebrant for you. You give them, you do your online application and pretty much just go from there. I'm pretty sure it's all pretty much self-explanatory on how it's done. Yeah. So that's my little rant about this now. All I can say is stay strong, stay faithful, keep busy, keep doing what you enjoy doing, you know, and try not to dwell on it too much. Try not to let it get the better of you. It is what it is, you know what I mean? We're all in the same boat. Others might deal with it different to how some other people might deal with it. But, yeah, I believe if you keep a positive mind and an open mind, you'll get through it. You'll get through this. But, yeah, just remember there is opportunities out there or different steps to make this happen a bit quicker if you want that, you know. Jeff and his team, they know what they're talking about. So, and I'm sure, you know, Jeff's down to any questions like, Christ, I've driven him mad for the last few weeks, I'm sure of it. Sorry, Jeff. But, yeah. So anyway, guys, take care, God bless, and hopefully it all works out for you, and good luck to everyone. Cheers.